Ropes versus Dragon's Crown. Ropes versus Dragon's Crown. Ropes versus Dragon's Crown.
Hello gamers, this is Bombadilly Ojo aka Bommy Tsunami from 9 to 5 Gamer, and I am here with a special guest. How should I call you? Call you?
You call me Sin.
Okay, this is Sein Meistro from Digital Game Break joining me today for a special topic. Special topic.
Oh yeah.
Before we get into that, I'm gonna let Sin introduce herself. Go on ahead.
I'm Sein Meistro. I am the founder of Digital Game Break. Oh gosh, everyone knows me as the Get Her Done girl. I'm a troll. I'm an ex-bullied nerd. I'm a music lover. Oh god, I'm an advocate for nerds. All that.
Yeah, so she's been fighting a good fight for several years now, and she's here to help expose a certain topic that's gone under the radar. I know many of you who are listening to this podcast are familiar with Benita Sarkeesian, and the past 2 years, 2013, 2012, was a very big year in gaming when it came to sexism in video games, feminism in video games, the whole 9 yards.
Oh yeah.
Now, we know that the big issue is how female gamers are treated in the gaming community, and there's no little sort of horror stories of women being treated by guys who are just total assholes. But what people don't realize that there's a reverse side of the coin where women are actually using nerd culture or geek culture or gamers in general to find their way in, and that's why we have Sin here to help clarify that, because this is something that goes underreported by a lot of major outlets. They seem to not want to touch this, unfortunately. They seem to think that women are untouchable, they're unquestionable when it comes to gaming, and some of them need to be questioned apparently from what you're there. So just start us off with your experience with this kind of situation that you've recently had to go through or been going through.
Well, as a female, and a lot of gamers like myself who happen to be females, this is something that ticks us off. We all see the fake gamer female, and it all ticks us off. It always ticks us off.
Oh, hold on. What do you mean by fake gamer female? What do you mean exactly?
Oh, gosh, girls.
That term gets thrown around a lot, and we want to clarify right now before we start getting shot at.
We're not just talking about pictures being taken of girls in nerdy situations posing sexually. We're talking about girls who actually go out and pose as gamers. And it's something that is happening. And usually I see it a lot in GameStop. There are actually some GameStop employees at my local GameStop, and I do not mind calling it out because it is what it is. But and I used to work at this GameStop, so it is what it is. It's an epidemic that it matters. It matters because guys are being tricked, and they're getting into bad relationships with these people. It's something that matters because it's posing, and no one likes a poser.
Now, before you go any further, because 2013, I was fighting a good fight against Benita Sarkeesian. I know there's obvious feminism or sexist tropes in games. That's inescapable. But she used the rallying battle cry that I am a woman, I should not be questioned, and I should be allowed to just say whatever I have to say.
Oh, no.
She really rallied behind that point, and she kind of built up a wall where female gamers are above reproach. So why do you feel that they're above this approach, if you don't mind me asking? What's your take on that?
First of all, she's way out of she's way out of touch with me. I can't even deal with her. But about that, females, they should not be questioned. Why not? Why not?
Why not? I could come up with several reasons that if you're a male in my situation and dare question a woman's how can I say this? Her what's the word I'm looking for? Her credibility.
Credibility. Yeah, credibility.
I would come under fire. I would be called a sexist pig. I'd be called all sorts of names, and you just seem to can't do that. But you were saying, I'm sorry.
I believe that it's sexist against males to say that this guy cannot question this female. about her, her lifestyle, if it's legit or not. I think that's sexist against males.
It is.
So, like, what is we fighting fire with fire? Like,
I mean, I know if I went on a video game board and I said, "Hey, I'm a Castlevania fan," I know someone's gonna ask me, "Okay, what's your favorite Castlevania and who is this main character and what other games do you like?" I mean, I'm not above reproach. I feel like the next man or woman should not be above reproach, but apparently you can't do that nowadays. It's a big sin. You don't mind me saying because your name. So anyway, as I was saying, why is it such a problem to ask a girl questions about her gaming geek knowledge? Like, how do you feel about the automatic defensiveness that's brought up whenever that happens? Like, if I was talking to you and you were just a happy-go-lucky girl gamer, and I asked you, "Hey, man, I see you in this picture with this controller. Like, what's like? Do you actually play games, or are you just posing? Like, what is that? Like, how do you feel about that?"
I see a lot of answers to that question in the sense. It depends on, first of all, guys have to stop being so blinded by their thirst. Because if you know what a gamer looks like, you know what it doesn't look like. We're not posing, we're not naked playing video games. And that's the biggest argument that we always, like, we have to throw that out there. We don't do the things that are in these pictures and all this stuff. So if you realize, like, what guy is going to be playing a zombie game with his like private parts hanging out? Like, and if you cannot be thirsty for a second, you can realize that, okay, that girl's not a gamer.
See, now you're gonna have what you're saying right now is like it's very controversial because we posted this in a blog or a web page. You instantly have women crying like, "I game in my bra and panties all the time. What are you talking about?"
And that's possible. That's possible. There's some women who do that, but when you have like that image has become general now.
Yes.
Like that image is everywhere. It's like that is what females do when they play video games.
And not facing the TV screen, it's just sitting there with the controller in their hands and their bra and panties. So
exactly.
Like this, as a guy who generally tends to enjoy video games. I have a sister who plays video games. I know you. I know a couple of female gamers. You won't necessarily know who's a female gamer. They're too busy playing the games. It's the one
exactly.
Have to make it known that yes, I'm a girl and I play video games. Now you recently had an incident. You were approached online, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Exploring that situation.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Go right ahead.
This has happened multiple times, but this time took the cake because it was so blunt, and this female was so just like eager. She needed this from me. And, like, she was rushing, like, yo, I need you, I need help. I was approached by a female on Facebook, asking me a question. She's a member, we're both members of a group about gaming. There's a couple of Facebook pages, where we all discuss video games, all that. And she messaged me asking for information, like, game updates, like, basically the recent, like, what's been going on in gaming. So I was like, first of all, what do you mean, like, information? And she's not a journalist or anything. She doesn't do video game reviews, none of that. She's just a girl that was in the group. And I went to her page, and I was like, does she play games? Because all her pictures are like, I'm not saying you're supposed to be decked out with Pokemon pictures and stuff, but I was like, does she play games? She doesn't have any, like, likes that are game related. All her photos are like, I can go ahead and say it. On her job description, it said that she was a dancer, an exotic dancer at blah blah blah, whatever the place was. So I was like, she could still be a gamer. But then I asked her, and she said something. We're gonna have to put the screenshot up because I don't mind showing it at all. But she basically contacted me looking for information to share in a group, to pose as if she was, like, starting a conversation about a game she played. And this time, it just took the cake. I was like, I'm done with this. Like, was totally insulted because here I am, a nerd. I usually don't, I use the title, but I embrace it now. Here I am, a nerd who struggled my whole life with my nerdiness, and now I embrace it now. But here I am, and now here I have a stereotypical it girl asking me for information to talk to other gamers and nerds so she can get like kudos from them. And I was like, what the hell? And this is what just is the problem. It's insulting to actual females who play games when these girls go and do this, like for likes or whatever.
Yes, of course. And once again, it comes back to thirst. Like if
Yeah.
the guy, I mean, we can try and like throw the women on the barbecue and stuff, but the guys are also part of the problem.
Yeah.
Like so quick. I mean, they're lonely. I hate. I don't know how it is for most of them, but some of them are desperate. Like they just, oh, a girl that like likes the same hobby as I do. This is
Exactly. And those type of girls are capitalizing on that. They're like, these nerds, they don't get laid. I'm hot. Let me get into the gaming scene, and I get a whole bunch of attention. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But why do you think this is happening now? Like, what do you like? Why is this coming out all of a sudden? Or has this been something that's been going on for a long time?
Well, I'm a female. I like attention. But because of who I am, I don't need it. You have females doing this for a number of reasons. They like compliments, especially from the opposite sex.
Yes.
I find the number one reason is, like I said, purely attention. I dare anyone right now to go to GameStop. If you're a female, I want you to go to GameStop and simply talk about a game with an employee or go with a friend and just start talking loud enough so that another person could hear you. Do this when another female is in the store, preferably with a guy. It could be her brother, her boyfriend. It don't matter. When you look at her face, and if you are a guy, look at the target female's face. Most of the time, you'll see a face of envy. They can't. How do I say it? It's like a look of jealousy. Like, oh my God, how does she know about games?
Yeah.
If you're a female just like her, but you're, in a sense, you're better connected in a circle of predominantly males. In other words, you live what her brother or boyfriend lives. You're part of a section of him that she can't touch. Think about all the girls that are like destroying their boyfriend's Xboxes and PlayStations because they're jealous. Yeah. You're a female that's actually in that circle. Like, you're on Xbox Live with these boyfriends. So this is kind of a section of this guy's life that the girlfriend just can't get into because she's into other things, makeup, whatever. But
what do you mean by wanting attention, though? There's other outlets they could get, like, attention, like appropriate attention from. But why gaming specifically? Why do you think they want attention from gamers? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, I'm going to say that it started, and this is my opinion, of course, and me just observing stuff.
Of course.
I'm going to start by stating that I believe that it started sometime after, when nerdiness became all trendy. I'm going to say like 2 years ago or something. Uh-huh. All the like fake eyeglasses. People still do it now, but the little fake eyeglasses and the suspenders people was wearing. I like to say it's always young girls looking for attention. It's always girls. It's not always girls, but we like attention. And that nerd trend, it's a trend, and it's a trend for a reason. Meaning everyone's doing it, from the kids at school to the media, and even on the runway. We can see the nerd trend coming back and displaying itself everywhere. It has something to do with, that's what's trending, so that's what we want to be a part of that. It's all about trends. It's all about trends.
Of course.
Like, I'm trying to think of a trend that was going on that changed the I want to say the not the criteria. I'm gonna say like the target guy or the target girl. Like now, okay, big butts. Everyone is good. Like big butts is really booming right now. Now all the girls are getting big butts. You know, surgery and everything. It's all like it's because of the trend.
Now, see, I understand the whole thing about it being a trend, and now, I mean, this has been an argument that's been going on raging, especially for within the last 2 years.
Okay.
And now we're getting people who, I mean, listen, I don't like using labels a whole lot. I don't like casual gamers. I don't like hardcore gamers. I just a guy that plays a lot of fucking video games. That's just how I am. But there are people who like that they come in, they play maybe with The Sims or something like that. They play like I'm not gonna lie, I've been on a couple of dating sites sometimes. I'm like, and I've seen girls who play video games, and I don't question them about it. But when they put their list, and I can tell who's really into games, and I think it's like Luthia or Earthbound or Final Fantasy, and then I see the GTAs and the Call of Duties and the Battlefield. So I know who's really invested in gaming, like myself, and who's just kind of just generally just playing. If that makes any sense.
Now, yeah, that makes sense. Now, what you just said, that's one way to identify these like I can just say fake. I mean, there's no other word. There's these fake gamers. Their list is always the most popular game. There is hardly ever anything like indie or something that's not played often by people. You'll hear Call of Duty, GTA. You might hear Battlefield, but if it's not something like, if it's not something that's really, really popping, it's not going to be said. And that has to do with trend. They only play what they hear guys playing, and it's of course Call of Duty is in there, of course. I mean, and then this is like it's happened so much, and it's really getting bad because people are getting into terrible dead-end relationships with some of these girls, and of course, and you're going to have people that say, well, men trick women all the time. Yeah, we know that. But wouldn't it be fair to expose that this is something going on and to save a couple of guys also? Like,
I can't agree anymore, especially in such a field where it's become, again, I have to point out because this is an issue. If you question anyone with a vagina, you're automatically in the wrong. You cannot win the argument. And to have a woman as yourself come out and say that this is an actual problem, this is something that happens to people, it's nice to hear because you don't hear about this. In fact, I mean, I'd be hard-pressed to see an article on something like this ever on any video game site because they'd be labeled as sexist right off the bat. Or misogynist. Oh my God, the M word.
Oh God, you have like
you're misogynistic. Right? As soon as you question a female, you're misogynist.
I think any female that disagrees with this, they cannot be a gamer because the majority, I mean, like freaking 95% of females who play games, they hate these type of females. The females I'm talking about, they dislike these type of females because we see what they're doing. Like, we see right through them.
Yeah, they're taking away the credibility of women who actually do enjoy games, who don't make it a big deal that they have breasts and a vagina. You also, like you said before, you run Digital Game Break and you write. So do you feel like in this field where everyone's trying to scramble to become a game reviewer, a game writer, do you feel like there's fake women in I don't know how to say this, women who aren't so enthused about gaming, who are just in the industry to push their agenda? Like, you know, I don't know if you're familiar with Patricia Hernandez of Kotaku, or
I don't remember her.
They would just write articles that are automatically inflammatory, like if should beating a woman in a video game count as rape or something like that, like just ridiculous out there articles. Do you think there are women who are just like in your area who are just in it just to cause a ruckus or just to be there for the free ride?
I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that. Thank God none of them are in my circle of contacts, or I will get rid of them with the quickness. I don't have any of those ladies, but I know they exist. I've read a couple articles that were just, I was like, did you play the game? Like, did you play the game? Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, they're definitely out there.
See, I love that you're coming forward with this because again, I have to reiterate the fact that it's so underreported and under-discussed. Like, I mean, it's discussed within male circles. We know it. We personally know it's going on. At least some of us know.
Oh, yeah.
And then there are guys out there who are just like, you know what, fuck it, I need a gamer girlfriend. And they're getting these relationships with these girls, and then they find out, like you said before, they find out that the girls just really played Sims like twice, and that's about it. Like, do you have any stories about something like this happen? Is anything?
Oh
like,
gosh, yes. I know a number of guys who, and I brought it up. I call it the what do I call it? It's like the Sims tragedy or something. But I know a number of guys, and every time I bring up this scenario, they're like, "Oh my God, that happened to me." There are a number of guys who have met a girl who plays games just like them, and they're like, "Oh my God, I got a girl who plays games. Oh my God, we can play games together." Blah blah blah. Get into a relationship. If it could be a couple months in, a couple years in, and basically at the end, the result is that the girl only plays one game, and it may be once every 5 months. She will turn this game on. And these guys are like, yo, and I'm like, I'm telling you, she wasn't a gamer from the get-go. It was something that y'all had in common, and she brought it up. You ran with it, and now you realize this girl is a terrible person because she's whatever's wrong. She's rude. She's mean to your parents. Whatever. You had nothing in common from the get-go, and that's the tragedy in it. Like,
So what would you? I mean, like, so what? I mean, again, it comes back to this. There's two sides of the coin. I mean, we can blame the women all we want, but the guys, like, how do we keep these guys like informed, like, what to watch out for, basically? What I'm trying to say.
The biggest thing is you guys need to realize that, first of all, women are women. They all have vaginas. They all have breasts. They're the same woman, no matter who you look at. The big thing that everyone needs to keep in mind is that there are some of these women out here. First of all, you can always spot a fake, especially in these pictures where the person's like half naked, the controller's not turned on, like all these set up photos. But you have to look at it the way I look at it. It's a complete insult to me if someone leads me on and tricks me about a hobby that I'm into. It's an insult to me because I feel like I'm being mocked. I feel like, me, I'm not just a gamer. I'm a nerd. I feel like when you do stuff like that, you're mocking me. Like, I take it to heart after I realize you're not really a gamer. Like, you have to take it as an insult because that's what it is.
And I personally agree with you. I think this is something that's dangerously overlooked. And in this sex, I mean, there's nothing wrong with sex positivity, and there's nothing wrong with being towards equality in gaming for males and females. But at this point, the battle's become so, I call it a battle. Mm-hmm. It's become so one-sided that, like, it seems like if you're a guy, you're bashed. If you're a woman, you're at the top of the game. You cannot be questioned. So this is actually really great. It's very enlightening. I love it. Do you have anything else to add? Is there anything else, another anecdote or another like comment you want to make, or?
I guess to all the guys, don't be rude, because if someone comes to me and is like, "Are you really a gamer? Like, do you know who I don't know, Goku is? Whatever." I'm going to be a little insulted, but I say, give that potential girlfriend a freaking quiz. Give that friend a quiz, but be nice about it. Be respectful, but give that person a quiz, because if they know who Pikachu is, but not like Vulpix or Bulbasaur, that junk's not right. That junk's not right. Like, no. Oh, God. Mm-mm.
There you have it, guys. Right from the lips of a woman. There's a subversion going on. Deception. Decepticons all about. Be careful, guys. I mean, I'm all about equality. I love it. I love the discussion for it but the past couple of years have become atrocious in terms of equal discussion. It's just one-sided, and one side is pointing fingers, and it's not fair. Both sides need to be reported on. Both sides need to be snitched on. Both truths need to be exposed. So here we are, 9 to 5 Gamer, myself, and Sin from Digital Game Break, and here we are with our very first interview, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. There'll be links to both of our respective Facebooks and sites below this video, so please feel free to follow, subscribe. Please comment. I would love a discussion on this. I'm pretty sure we both like a discussion on this. So, hey, stay tuned for like another podcast down the road, hopefully from Digital Game Break and 9 to 5 Gamer. Good night.
I do have one more thing to add.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I'm sorry, guys. I do have one more thing to add, and it is a GameStop story from my GameStop I used to work at. An employee was brought on, a female employee who was brought on, and you know when you apply for GameStop, there's certain, it's like a questionnaire that you get. She made it on board, blah, 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 stayed there for a while. I don't know how long it's been, maybe a couple months. And then, out of the blue, I guess this is what happened. She realized that she wasn't a gamer and that she couldn't really hold conversations with all the people and her fellow coworkers. So one day she finally decided to come out and just say, look, I don't play games, basically. And she did so by stating that she did not like Zelda, did not like, I believe it was Super Mario, and another game that I cannot remember. It was another very, very monumental game, but everyone was shocked, like, why are you here? But we realized that she had a significant other who played games, and I believe that she wanted to get some type of street cred with that person. But that's just that's a story that just came to mind. I just thought about it, and that's how serious it is.
So there you have it, guys. A tale of cautionary woes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful if you date. Do a little investigative journalism or investigation or whatever you want to do, and just keep your eyes equal, keep your head up. Just be out there, guys. That's it.
Yep.
And do you have any more, or can I sign off on
That's it. We're good.
All right. Thank you, Sin, for joining me, and I guess this has been an eye-opening experience, and hopefully we'll be able to hear more from Sin from Digital Game Break.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Goats versus Dragon's Crown. 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 Goats versus Dragon's Crown.